Hey up and welcome to our live set of six, the first one post Midlands Nines Festival, where we share the good, the great and the newsworthy of rugby league outside the Midlands. My name's Craig.
And my name's Carl, and on this week's set of six, we'll obviously be talking about Sam Burgess taking on Richie Myler in the tunnel, the Midlands Nines Festival, and also Midlands Rugby League kicks off this week, so we'll be diving straight into that.
Sorry. So we just had a little thing there saying no sound, lads. Right, we got it going. So welcome to our live set of six. We've been a couple of weeks. We've obviously had the music festival, the rugby league tournament in the last couple of weeks, and you know we've missed a couple of weeks. However, we've kind of recovered and we're back at it. So as always, you can comment, you can interact with us throughout the show, and we'll share those comments throughout the day. So Carl, kick us off and just tell her, are you excited for this?
Yeah, I am, mate. I'm just about recovered, to be honest with you. It's been a couple of weeks rehab, I think, after what was, God, what did we put ourselves through, mate, with that bloody festival? But yeah, tackle one, that is the first thing we're going to jump into, the Midlands Nines. And I believe, from what everyone's told me, it's been hailed as a success. Midlands Nines took place, was it last week or 2 weeks ago? I can't even remember, mate.
2 weeks, I think, yeah. Yeah, it was April, wasn't it? No, last week, wasn't it? Last week. Yeah, it's taken me a week to get over it. Yeah.
Yeah, so, the Midlands Nines took place last week. And we're pleased to say that the feedback we've had from the event was that it's all been very positive. I've not really had any sort of negative comments come my way, to be honest with you.
I had one, and it was just the no food in the evening. Which was a bit of a shitter because we had lined that up. We'd lined up like a pizza vendor, and they dropped out last minute and dropped us in the shit, really. But for that to be the only problem, despite the fact that it was absolutely freezing, you know, it was testament to all the hard graft and everything, and the hard work of the pod squad, our group of volunteers that absolutely just bailed us out of the shit countless times throughout the day. We have just recorded this week's podcast
episode,
and we spoke all about the Midlands Nines and all those stuff that you won't be aware of. And you know, Carl and I did say that we were going to run this festival even if it killed us, and it nearly did. It nearly did. So make sure you look out for that, because I think it's going to be a fun episode.
Yeah, this Thursday's episode, so it's a full no holds barred. You know, we've absolutely left everything out there, everything that went on the run up to it, on the day, everything that you didn't see that were going on behind the scenes. There's a full in-depth look at it. Should we talk about the actual tournament itself?
Yeah, can do. Yeah.
So the event itself, the tournament, I believe, was incredibly successful. The teams really bought into it. We've had 3 different winners on the first version of the event. So Loughborough won the social tournament, university side. We had the RAF, a forces side, win the women's tournament, and we've had a Midlands club in Sherwood Wolfhunt win the men's tournament. So yeah, what a great headline that is, really.
Yeah, and there were also, you know, like you said, everybody kind of bought into the rugby. It was really well officiated by the referees, little team of referees backed by the RFL and all that. And, you know, just the day itself with the app that you used, it just kind of ran itself all the way and culminated in these finals that were just action-packed, some big hits, a little bit of fighting going on, you know what I mean? But all in good taste, and 3 worthy winners really. And I think the moment when they were lifting the trophies and we were doing the announcements, I just thought, fucking, brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant, because people have enjoyed today despite the weather, and all the hard graft has been worth it.
And that was the main thing. We just wanted people to come along and enjoy it. But the one thing I totally took me by surprise is how much people wanted to win these trophies.
Yeah,
I think because we'd set up the stage and it was with professional signage made and everything else. I think as you come along that motorway and you saw that stage, and when you walked in, you saw the trophy and you saw the medals, teams really wanted to win it, and it was competitive, and it was a great tournament.
Yeah, it was on all 3 forms of the game in the tournament. We have got a couple of little video clips. The first one being just like a little bit of arrival. I've looked around the scenes and a little bit of rugby, and then obviously with the winning teams at the end. So I'll play that.
Put Mike's back on.
I have. The car's out there, you little bastard. Right, yeah, so obviously just a few clips of the festival itself. Now, it was an absolute privilege to be part of that. I remember when we were, at the start of the festival, we got everybody in front of the stage. We did like a little bit of a welcome address. We also did a 1 minute of applause for a young Scottish player who lost his life shortly before the festival and was set to play. So we did a minute of applause. And you and I took a selfie, didn't we, with the crowd in the background and posted that online. Yeah. And we were just grey.
Yeah.
We were both, I couldn't swallow.
Mate, I've seen how bad my wrinkles are on that picture.
Mate,
first thing Kelly said to me, look at state of you on that. I was like, what did you expect?
Yeah, we were just done in, but it was worth every second of it. So if you did come along, thank you very much for coming along and throwing everything into it and making that a reality and a massive success. So once the kind of rugby's done, in fact, a couple of key moments from the rugby, Carl, that stands out.
Do you know what? I won't talk about the key moments with the rugby. There were a few things that happened in the event that just really sort of took me back. Lad from Birmingham, Fergus, he brought me a Wolverhampton. He said to me, "Oh, you used to play for Wolverhampton, didn't you?" I was like, "Yeah." He said, "Oh, I don't know where he had this shirt from." He says, "I've got an old Wolverhampton kit." And he brought me that as like a gift. Yeah. It took me back, that did. I didn't really know what to say. I still don't really know what to say now. It's just really great that I think people sort of recognise what we try to do. So that took me back a bit. And then the other moment was Alex from Dublin. We had on the podcast. We did it, Dublin Exiles. I think we did a podcast with them
right at the start of the season. This season,
a few weeks back now. And he came up to me and he's like, "Oh, do you remember that lad you were on the podcast?" And he's like this really strong Irish accent. I was kind of looking, going, I think I know who this is, but I'm not 100% certain. And yeah, he'd flown in from Dublin.
Yeah,
to to play as part of the event.
Awesome.
And I thought it were incredible. So there was loads of moments like that. Where people they just were fully invested, like we wanted it to make success. There were loads of players who shared that as well, and who wanted to make it a success. They want Midlands rugby to thrive, and some stuff took me aback.
Yeah, and so obviously there were two parts to the day. There was the rugby part, the festival part. The rugby part, and all that, and then also the music festival at night time. And I seem to remember when we put up, if anyone's seen pictures, we really invested in the stage. We wanted an epic stage light show, like a proper show. And I remember the dome went up. You know what I mean? You'd squeezed it. Like we'd got a 10-meter gap, and you'd squeezed this 12-meter stage into this 10-meter gap. The fucking guy setting it up was going nuts, But
he was going, "It ain't going to fit here," and I was going, "Yeah, it is. We're not having it right down there, away from clubhouse. It's going here, mate."
Yeah. Well, and when that went up, I just thought, fucking hell, look at the size of this thing. You know what I mean?
First thing he said, he went, "Well, it's taller than usual because you've squeezed it into a smaller gap." I was like, it don't matter. It just looked epic.
Yeah. So that was great. And then we had a little jingle, didn't we? Little jingle playing, welcome to the Midlands Nines and all this kind of. And at the end it said, let the music play, let the games begin. And when that happened, I just thought, right, everything now is taken care of. We can't change anything. You know what I mean? All right, we've got a few fires to put out and sort a few things out, but it's just hiccups in the road. Now we're going, and that for me was it's just a great moment. Then watching people lifting trophies and having pictures with the Midlands Nines signs, kindly, created by Rob Davies. Got to thank him for that. It clearly. People bought into the tournament.
It meant a lot to the teams that had won it, didn't it? And like I said, they shared the vision that this what we'd created, what we'd tried to create, and like the feel good factor that we'd try to bring about. Teams really bought into it, and it meant a lot to me. I've got to say, blood, sweat, and tears went into it, literally.
Yeah.
To see the teams lifting the trophy and being so proud to lift them was great. And then after that, we went on to the music side of it. Well,
just before that, we had I got Mark here, Mark Austin. As far as it can be for a ref, it was a really enjoyable day. I've got to say, the referees were brilliant.
Yeah, they were.
Across the board. Had a real good grip of the games. Just kept the tournaments flowing. Nothing was too much bother. I mean, they did a lot, didn't they? So thanks to Mark and everyone else who was in that referees team.
Yeah, because they didn't have a whole lot of breaks either. They had a lot. They had a lot of games to referee. We sort of crammed a lot into it. Yeah. So after the rugby, we went on with the music. So the Stiffmeisters were the first band, and they just rocked the place really. I know we had a lot of sort of teams transitioning between sort of staying out and getting changed and whatnot. But they were really good. I thought they kept the energy up, and I really enjoyed them.
Yeah. From there, we had the local talent, Alex Norris, who was Baltic, wasn't it? He was absolutely freezing. He turned up like shorts, vest, proper rock and roll. And he was just shivering away to the point where someone gave him a hoodie. You know what I mean? He had a connection to Broad Street Rugby Club, didn't he? And there were a couple of players from Broad Street gave him a pint to warm him up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
A couple of lads knew him,
but he was great. And then obviously onto the headline band.
Yeah, so the headline band. So we had a few teams sort of went back to the hotel rooms. So it was quite quiet for a while. And then with teams coming back in fancy dress, Sherwood were in cowboy outfits, and Leamington were the ladies from Leamington were all in shit shirts and stuff like that. The RAF ladies were there.
Is that what you'd done? The shit shirt.
Moving on. There was a sea of purple because the Loughborough lot were all the students were all staying on site for the camping and all the rest of it. So the party vibe was just great.
Brilliant.
People down in Yard of Ale.
In the trunks.
It got messy in that clubhouse.
Yeah.
And then the Arctic Monkeys band came on. Go on.
Women flashing the tits. Do you remember that?
Oh, yes.
It was all sorts going on.
Yeah. Topless bloody dancers on the during the. I think that's when you know it's a proper festival, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, well, a rugby festival. You know what I mean? It was just like almost anything goes. It was epic.
Yeah, and then the Arctic Monkeys came on, and they just started with that riff, and it's like down low, and I just like, and people just started flocking towards the stage.
Yeah,
and it was just an hour and a half. It was just party, wasn't it?
Well, I think they did longer than that. They would just kept going. They're rocking it out, and all despite the fact that it was Baltic, literally Baltic.
Yeah,
the crowd just stayed. Everybody was dancing and rocking out. You know what I mean? It was just epic.
People on the shoulders, glow sticks going. Yeah, it was great. I really that was the moment I started to enjoy it, because everything was done by that point. It was like, oh, there's an hour left now. Just have a pint, and just enjoy it.
Right, listen. Well, let's show a couple of clips from that and move on, because time's precious. Yeah, so some absolute fun and games at the end of the night. It was just brilliant. It was brilliant. So thanks to everybody that rocked up and took part. It was absolutely epic.
The flip.
The flip
moment of the tournament.
That shook the whole clubhouse. That.
Yeah,
absolutely. And he got up and just like stumbled off like he'd just been wiped out by a Range Rover.
Well, he tried to smooth it out, but he didn't smooth it.
Meanwhile, he broke 2 hips and there's back in his back.
Still a hole in the floor at Broad Street Rugby Club.
Right, okay. So I've got to mention, obviously, the winners. So social champions was Loughborough University.
Yeah, 10 points to 8. They beat Sherwood.
Yeah, cracking game that was. And then the women's champions was at the Royal Air Force.
Yep, 12 points to 10 against the Hurricanes.
Very, very close.
Yeah, could have gone either way, that one.
And obviously the big news story there is the first Midlands Hurricanes game of the tournament.
First tournament,
and they got to the final as well. So they got to take some solace from that. And then the big one, the men's champions, Sherwood. Absolutely loved lifting that trophy, didn't they? It meant a lot to them. 20
points to 10. They came out winners against Loughborough in the men's final. Yep.
Yeah, so amazing event. Moving on then. So moving on to tackle 2. Slightly different news. Obviously, Hull FC can't get out of the headlines in the minute.
Yeah, they've been in the news for a couple of reasons, but they've signed Johnny Asiata for 2025, and it's rocked Lee Centurions a little bit, this has, and certainly Derek Beaumont. So this usually what happens when you make a signing for 2025 they don't announce it during the season.
Yeah,
it's kept quiet. They just don't want to upset the current team that they're playing with. But for them to, I think this is true style. It got leaked to the press, didn't it?
There's a lot getting leaked from Hull at the minute.
It was a journalist that broke this story, and so I think then the clubs had to
let's back it up,
jump on the back of it. So that's I thought that was a big move. What do you reckon?
Right,
still got a lot to give.
Yeah. Sorry for coughing. I've got 2 takes on this. So, first of all, Hull needed some big news, didn't they?
Yeah,
they needed some news because Like
That's why it got leaked.
Yeah, because
100%.
Yeah, they were just in turmoil, flat spin. Nobody could understand what was going on and all that. Next thing, I don't see anything new from Hull. How many times does Hull need to bring in big boppers before the season starts? You know, they did it with Franklin Pele, SASA, you know, and you know, they spent half the time on the thing. I don't see anything new yet. I know he's a big player, massive player.
The next question is, they haven't currently got a coach. So is this fitting in with the ethos of the coach that they're going to bring in whenever that may be?
Oh, well, so what you're suggesting that there's they know who the coach is?
No, because I don't think they do, because everybody's turning them down.
Yeah. Well, as you would.
Brian McDermott's turned them down. Paul Rowley's turned them down. Lee Breers has been in the mix, and I don't know what's going on with that one. Maybe he'll emerge as front runner. You mentioned the Barrow coach the other day.
Yeah, well, that was announced yesterday that he was getting the job, but is that not?
No,
it's not true.
No,
they're just throwing a lot of names out there. People are desperate to be the first person to announce the coach, and obviously,
Simon Griggs is still in charge at the minute, isn't he?
Yeah, well, and he's keen on the job, but he's not applied, has he? That was the thing. If you watch the Super League games, that was the news that came out then.
It's one of them. If they start winning a load of games, I think suddenly he'll emerge as the front runner. And if he don't win a load of games, he'll just say, "I was only there just to." It's a caretaker.
It's a good place to be. A little bit like how Paul Whelan's kind of squeezed into the Saints team. You know, there've been a few people have kind of come in through the back door. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So anyway, moving on from that, there's a little tit for tat in the tunnel.
Well, tit for tat. Miley nearly knocked Burgess off his feet with that shoulder badge. Yeah, so this week, I don't know if you've seen it or caught on the Sky Sports cameras when Warrington played Hull FC. Sam Burgess and Richie Myler had a bit of a coming together in the tunnel, I think is the way to put it. Thoughts on that one, Craig? Would you want to mess with Burgess?
No, would you fuck? You fucking stupid. You know, I mean, that is, I think it's like done tactically in the tunnel where the cameras are facing, because, you know, I think in modern society now, CCTV protects a lot of people. You know, there's a lot of people running around hard because they know society just doesn't allow people to get ploughed in the face anymore. So, and whether it's tactical or not, I don't know. But, you know, you definitely, I don't think anybody would. One thing I respect, maybe more than anything else, you know, let alone the fact he'll put you on your ass.
Yeah, but the Warrington were in the wrong, weren't they? Did you see?
100%.
Did you see the Burgess interview? So they didn't put him. They didn't put the 19th man on the team sheet, did they?
No.
So they
messed up.
They lost a substitution. Now, what usually will happen is if the other team agrees it, they'll allow them to make a change to the starting 19 or whatever.
Yeah, but why would Hull agree to it? You know, they're scraping.
Well, they're desperate, aren't they?
Yeah, they're desperate. You know, they need every little help they can get, and you know, why would they? And in some regards, would Warrington? You know what I mean? If the shoe was on the other foot, would Warrington have done it?
Well, I think this is the point Burgess tried to make, didn't he? He said in his pre-match interview with Sky Sports, post-game interview with Sky Sports, sorry, it's all about player welfare. But I'm not so sure, mate. If you're a natural born, you know, you want to win, don't you?
Yeah.
And Hull are no different. Richie Myler's no different. He clearly made that call, and he was like, no, it's not happening. Yeah. So, yeah, Warrington were at fault. Little bit unprofessional as well, really.
Yeah, it was good little bit of news, I suppose.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I mean, yeah,
it didn't change the outcome of the game, did it?
No, it never was going to do, was it, really?
No. So, okay, right, moving on. What's this one then, Carl?
Schlid of the week.
What is the actual official spelling of the word schlid? I've used a couple of different ones.
No idea. And there's probably people watching this who haven't seen our show before, so they probably have absolutely no idea what
schlid is.
So a schlid it's sort of
it's a tradition, isn't it, from Oxford University?
Yeah. Yes. When they play Cambridge every year in the varsity match, they all have what they call schlid haircuts.
They go schlidding.
Yeah, they go schlidding, and they get these absolutely mental haircuts.
That's a great
we were there for the game earlier on in the year, and yeah, there's some crazy haircuts. Go back and watch the episode if you want. So yeah, this Edwin Ibappi's hairstyle stood out to me this week. I thought absolutely mental.
Well,
I think it suit you that actually.
I couldn't do that. The only thing I'd do that is the hair on my bloody back. But yeah, it's a lot of effort in there, isn't there? A lot of effort from what I can see.
Big time, mate. Big time.
Yeah. All right. Interesting. Slid of the week.
Yeah, we'll move on to the next story.
Okay. Midlands Rugby League kicks off this week.
Yeah, so we've got the Midlands fixtures this week. Finally, Midlands Rugby League is getting kicked off. I ain't got the fixtures in front of me. I can't bloody see them, Craig.
All right. Yeah, we're missing a lead, aren't we? So we've got Birmingham Bulldogs, Coventry Bears.
Yep, should be a great game. For opening game of last year, that was. I think Birmingham snatched it in the last couple of minutes of the game, so that'll be interesting to see how that one plays out.
Leamington versus Nottingham Outlaws.
Nottingham Outlaws will be their first game back in the Midlands division in however many years, coming back from Yorkshire Division 2. So Leamington want to make the mark on that one. So that'll be a good game.
Oxford Cavaliers, Swindon St George.
Another new team, Swindon St George, into the Midlands League. So, again,
be interesting to see how that.
See how that plays out and see how those two teams get on. Obviously, Oxford new coach as well this year. So see how they perform and how their new style goes.
Okay, we've got St Ives Roosters, is it?
Yeah, so I don't know much about St Ives Roosters. I don't know if they've existed for a long time, but I don't know if they've
reformed for the season.
Reformed. Yeah. I think that might be the case. So they're playing against Deep in Ducks, and Deep in Ducks, it's going to be their first game. This is a Merit League fixture, by the way. So yeah, Deep in and St Ives will be their first game this year. Deep in Ducks will be the first ever game of Rugby League. So
come on, the Ducks. We're back in the Ducks, aren't we?
I don't know, mate. Well, all outsiders, aren't they?
No, they're all outsiders. But we went and did an interview.
Yeah,
that memorable interview in the clubhouse with the
coffee machine.
The world's longest coffee machine. Well, it actually took longer to make a coffee than our coffee machine at the Nines. Next one, Quantums versus New Ravens.
Right. So this promises to be bigger than the Midlands Nines.
Yeah,
this is what they're saying.
Pyrotechnics.
There's slip and slide coming.
No way.
Yep.
We've heard it on good authority that Martin at the Quantums loves a slip and slide.
Yeah. Rugeley Rugby Club apparently is famous for a slip and slide. So if it ain't going, if there's no slip and slide, I ain't turning up. But, they've also got Boy George tribute on as well.
Boy George. Right up your Strasser.
And apparently there's a world famous sock trick going to be taking place.
Do you know, I'm really intrigued by this sock trick.
Really?
Well, from their podcast, I mean, they were talking about like setting up a stage for it. You know, having like, they saw our stage and like, right, we can have a stage too. We want the old sock trick on the stage. So I'm intrigued on how they're going to do that.
No, but in all honesty, they are throwing loads at this.
Yeah, 100%.
Caribbean food stall going to be there. DJ on. Sounds like a great weekend, and I think that's the future. I know that not all clubs can afford to put loads of stuff on like this, but what a great way to start the season, that is. Yeah,
season opener. Then we've got Boston Buccaneers, Sherwood Wolfhunt.
Yes, that's another Merit League fixture. Boston have dropped down from they were going to be in the men's Premier. They've dropped into the Merit League. So yeah, be interested to see how they go. We know from experience that the Nines at Sherwood have got a massive squad. So even in the Merit League, I think they're going to have a very strong team.
Okay, that's all the teams. Right. Good luck to all those teams playing in the Midlands and beyond. And next bit of news, a bit of bad news, really, Cal, with the old Saints fans doing, so a little bit of unsavoury behaviour, really.
Yeah, I think it's not something we really want to talk about, is it? But it seems to be...
we will.
Yeah, well, of course we will. Clicks and all that. It seems to be creeping in, doesn't it? A bit of bad behaviour in the stands this year. It's not the first time this has happened. And after the game, there was a lot of Saints fans trying to get the Hull KR fans. The stewards tried to break it up. And then we've all now seen the scene of the woman throwing a bottle on the pitch.
Crackers.
Absolutely. In this day and age.
Well, in any day and age, it wasn't acceptable.
Well,
but now, everybody's got a camera in the pocket, which proves, because she's been caught, and will probably, the club are forced to give her some kind of lifetime ban, I would suggest.
100%, and she should be.
Yeah, and you just, on no level can you do that. Any kind of projectile or anything like that. I remember going to Magic Weekend, when it was at Cardiff, right, and there's these young kids in front of us, and they were absolutely slating Keith Senior, right? They were giving him some right shit. And then somebody eventually went over, tapped him on the shoulder and goes, guys, you don't do that at rugby league. You know, you're not some like football pitch, you know what I mean, where you might get away with, you know, that might be like common practice, but not in our crowd. Like, you know, to see that was a little bit disappointing. And I wonder what, you know, people watching and listening, what is their take on it? Obviously, when you get crowds together and passionate fans, it's going to happen. And I don't know what incited that event, but we definitely don't want to see it in the game.
Do you think we have a problem with that sort of thing in rugby league? Because
I'd like to say
it's not like football. It's never been like that. Football's idiots go to watch football.
Well, some people go to football just for the fight.
Yeah, 100%. Loads of people do. But we've never really had that culture in rugby league. But there does seem to be there's been quite a few incidents of bad behaviour this year. And I think, I don't know, do the RFL need to be a bit, give steeper fines out to, I think Saints have actually had a fine this week. Something to do with stewarding as well. Not had enough stewards on the ground or something like that.
Well, there's some frustrated teams. Obviously, my Williams Weekly this week, you know, we're going to look at the top 6 teams all in the same points. And my question is that a good thing for the sport or is it a bad thing for the sport? You know, so we're going to chat about that a little bit later on. But there's clearly some frustrated teams. Saints are used to winning. Fans, you know, they're saying never write off the Saints. But actually, they got their ass handed to them a couple of times this season. And I just wonder if there's a little bit of frustration in the crowd there from whatever. And I'd tell you what, Hull KR can give it. You know what I mean? They follow Michael Lewis's lead. They follow Michael Lewis's lead, and they can give the shit out. You know, and they've always got a massive crowd. So I don't know what incited it.
Just touching on that game though, Hull KR. I don't know if you watched that one.
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
Hull KR were absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, they were. Fantastic.
They were. They're such a good team to watch at the minute. One of the most entertaining games of the weekend.
Well, where they've come from in the last few years has just been epic. You know, they were they were a team that attracted aged players at one point. You know what I mean? And people go there and they'd have a couple of years at the end of the season. I don't know, or maybe they were just establishing themselves or whatever. Suddenly, well, it's not suddenly. It's like it's evolved over a couple of seasons into a really, really competitive team and a really, really well-run club that's attracting talent. You know, and they're reaping the rewards.
I'll throw this out there. I know we'll probably talk about this in a bit more depth when we do our predictions episode later on. But Hull KR, then, do you think they've got what it takes to pick something up this year?
I don't know, because that winning cutting edge in the grand final is something.
It's different,
else.
isn't it?
Yeah,
it's a different style, isn't it, that you've got to master.
Yeah, and I think teams
to suck teams to death, aren't you?
Yeah, well, you can't burn up all your energy with nerves ahead of the game. You can't let the event affect you, but you still need to raise your game because the grand final is always going to be vicious and fought hard. You know what I mean? At the business end of the season. So,
but they've turned over Wigan and Saints now in the last couple of weeks.
But them two teams are used to getting themselves ready for big finals or World Club challenges. You know what I mean? It's a tall order. I'd like to think yes. I'd like to think they do.
I'd say that they are the 3rd team in the running. I think I'm going to drop Catalan out this year. I don't think Catalan are going to win this year.
Well, just moving on, I've got a couple of comments there. Amiga Prime, right? What a fucking name that is. That's an awesome name. RAF Rugby League Academy men's team are looking for a midweek opposition next week. If anyone's about, if anyone listening to this and feels they can field the team there. In fact, there's a couple of teams in the Midlands that have got a bye. Maybe we could.
Yeah, there is because Boston dropped out. So there was always one team with a bye each week. Because Boston have dropped into the Merit League, I think there's 2 teams each week that have got a bye.
Yeah. So that is the Raiders and Sherwood.
Sherwood are playing Telf. That are they on about this week or next week?
I don't know. It's next week.
So it'd be, I don't know. It might be Cov. I think they might have a bye next week.
Yeah, it just goes on to say, sadly, HMPS, Majesty's Prison Service, have had to pull out due to player availability. So, maybe we can, hopefully we can. Someone's listening to this and they can hook you up with the game. So,
well, I'm in the Midlands WhatsApp group, so I'll drop it in there.
Yeah, fantastic. Cheers for your comment. Right, so we're moving on. Have we done that?
Yeah, let's
crowd?
move on.
Okay, so next one then. So the women's nines competition, Cardiff Progress.
Yeah, so the women's nines took place the week after ours, just gone. This is a really exciting tournament for the women because they throw in Super League teams, some Championship women's teams, and then they also bring in
some community teams.
Some community teams. So Telford Raiders were in there. Leamington Royals played their second time in this tournament. You've got Cardiff Demons in there from Wales, London Broncos from the Southern Division. So you get a really good mix of teams, and it gives them a chance to play against different teams. So, for instance, Leamington and Telford were drawn in the same group as Leeds Rhinos and St Helens. Now, I never thought I would say that sentence, in all honesty.
Yeah.
But that's how
I can actually go a little bit. There's something else I never thought. So Fred, the chairman at Telford Raiders, he was saying that Leeds have had to change their kit because it clashes with the Telford Raiders, and because like I think Telford Raiders were first out of the draw, something like that. They got home like as if it would be home advantage. Therefore, Leeds had to change their kit for them.
Oh, nice one. Yeah. So, but it's. I think it's great that in this short format of the game that they can play against some of these superstars and really experienced players. And great for them. And then the story of the day. We've mentioned them a few times already this year, and they had a great season last year. But Cardiff Demons won all 3 games and against Super League opposition. So they've progressed into the finals of this tournament. So into the finals, so I'll give you Cardiff's results actually. So 33 points to 6, they beat Hull KR. 14 points to 9 against Barrow. And 10 points to 8 against Featherstone.
Whoa.
So, brilliant for them. They topped their group. They'll progress into the next round with York Valkyrie, St Helens, Wigan, and then there's 2 wildcard teams to be decided.
Nice. By the way, Mark Sloan from Loughborough said, I can check if Loughborough can do anything in regards to the game that's been cancelled there. So cheers, Mark.
Oh, brilliant.
Hopefully you two can perhaps hook up. Mark, hook up with Amiga and see what you can come up with. So thanks for chirping in there, Mark, and thanks for all your support at the Midlands Nines too.
He was loving the music, by the way, at the end.
He was having a right dance.
Yeah, he was in the mosh pit with me.
Right, on to Williams Weekly then. So obviously, it won't have escaped people that the top teams now in the Super League are all on the same points. And I just sort of like, is that good? Does it mean that we've finally got a really competitive league? Or is it bad because we haven't got any standout teams or any standout stars and all that kind of thing? So really, that's the question. I just wonder, people watching this now, what's your take on it? Did you foresee it? Did you think this was going to happen? Personally, I didn't. I thought Wigan was just going to smash it, be completely untouchable. But, they have had their asses kicked a couple of times. So I'm surprised. Are you surprised, Carl?
I am a little bit, yeah. I thought it'd be a little bit more clean cut than this. The one that's interesting is Leeds are out of the playoff zone, aren't they?
Yeah.
But they're only 2 points away from being top of the table. It's mad. That is absolutely crazy.
Does that make it exciting though?
Yeah, I think it does. I think it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeopardy.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going to happen, do you?
There's less in the Super League table than there is between mine and yours prediction.
That just shows how shit we are at predictions. That's all.
Yeah.
No, I think it's a really good thing to have the league so close. It means that every time they step foot on that pitch, it's all to play for. Which it was the thing people didn't like about the Super League years ago. It was a bit of a shot, wasn't it? Between if you didn't make that top 5, but there was no promotion and relegation. It was like
what we're playing for.
Yeah, season's over. You just turn up every week and
and for years we've had certain teams just dominate the league. And it's this year. Don't get me wrong. We've still got 2/3 of the season left to go, and anything can happen. But at this stage now, we don't really know who's going to be in that that top. We can guess there's a couple of teams that won't be in there because they're just struggling. London not picked up a win yet. Hull obviously up against it in many fronts. Leeds struggling more than
Hull and London playing each other this week, though.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got that as one of my big six.
Have you?
Yeah, big fixture this week.
Yeah, so I kind of wonder what people are thinking. We have got a comment here. Let's have a look at this. No doubt it'll be about the right. Here we go. So top 8 within 4 points of each other. Bottom 4 quite far off. Super League usually, realistically, a 3-team race, and nice to have some more unpredictability. So I think that's what I'm taking from this. Then from you, from Galic's game. I think it must be Alex. It's big cheese sandwich on the profile picture. But it's like. It's the unpredictability that we like. That we think's good for the game, because Wigan aren't storming ahead. Saints aren't, out there probably going to win the League's Shield and all this. It's a very tight fought game and can be anybody's game. And I suppose for those teams that traditionally finish further down the table, to be up there is very, very exciting for them, because now they're going around telling everyone they're equal on points with Saints, Wigan, Huddersfield, Wire,
Catalan, it's just.
So yeah,
I think it's really exciting, and I'm interested to see how the season ends up. If you're going to say, if I said to you, right, top 4, who do you think you're going to be top 4 end of year?
I don't think Huddersfield will be up there.
Right.
Wigan Saints, I think you can kind of assume that. Well, I don't know. If it's Saints, I don't know.
Saints are cracking a bit, aren't they?
Yeah. They are cracking, which is why maybe the team's getting a little bit frustrated. The fans
are throwing bottles and stuff like that.
Frustrated. Wigan will be up there, without doubt. Hull KR.
Yep.
And then you kind of into the realms of Catalan.
Yep.
Saints. I think they're my 4. Wigan, Saints, Hull KR, Catalan. What about you?
Yeah, but I may swap Catalan with Warrington. I think Warrington is still steadily going about the business.
Well, I hope so for Warrington's sake. I think they need to be up there this year. So yeah,
move on then.
Okay. So interesting little discussion there. Right. So we've got this week's Big Six.
Yeah, we have got our Midlands Nines raffle coming up as well. Just worth mentioning that.
Oh, yeah. We'll put that as a separate clip as well for anybody that sort of jumps off. But we're going to draw the raffle from the Midlands Nines. So anybody that bought raffle tickets, then there's a chance of winning signed shirt, fight camp retreat for 2, a few other bits and bobs. So
we didn't quite get a chance to draw it on the day, and we have had online orders coming at us, so we've had to sort of delay it a little bit. Right, anyway, fixtures then, Craig. This week's Big Six.
Yeah.
I've picked out a few sort of real different games that are really exciting me about this week. So Quantums are taking on the Ravens.
Yeah.
Now, we've already spoke about this. They're making a big deal about it. It's going to be massive. It's going to have pyrotechnics. It's going to have a Boy George tribute act.
I'm going to try and get there.
Plus,
I know you can't be there.
No, I can't. I'm playing in a charity game up north this week. But yeah, there's just loads going on, and they're really putting a load of effort into it. So get along and support it. That's going to be a great occasion. Leamington against the Outlaws is another one I've pulled out because I just said earlier. I'm interested to see how Nottingham Outlaws come into the Midlands League, having dropped down from Yorkshire 2. So that's going to be really interesting. And then Thursday night, I think this is going to be a cracker. This one, I think, Warrington v Hull KR. Can't wait for this game. What do you think? But by that, I think you're thinking clear Hull KR win.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
I think the two expansive teams. I think Hull KR will win.
Yeah,
but I think Warrington have got they've got something about them this year. I think it'll be a good game this week.
All right, okay.
Won't write them off. London v Hull FC, so right down at the bottom end of the table.
I just want London.
Everyone, we've been saying it all year. London are going to win a game this year.
Yeah. Is this the one?
This could be the one.
Yeah.
And you know what?
I
love Mike Eccles. Every time I see him in an interview, he don't bullshit. he just says it how it is.
Yeah.
We're a championship team that's still transitioning into a Super League team. They haven't got the biggest budget, but they've got some fighters in that team. And they have been on the back of a few hidings, but then in other games, they ain't been that far off. And I just feel like this week could be their week.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Definitely one to watch. I'll be watching that one.
Moving on then into the Women's Super League. So it's York versus Leeds Rhinos. Repeat of last year's grand final. We're at that game.
Yeah, awesome.
Two brilliant teams.
Yeah.
Look, in the women's game now, I think it's quite obvious to see there's some real standout teams, and the gap is actually widening. You got your Saints, Wigan, York Valkyrie, and Leeds Rhinos. Sort of, they're starting to pay players. They've got professional players now. The gap between other Super League teams now is huge. Like putting 50, 60 points on teams. So watching these two top teams go at it again should be absolutely awesome. And I'm really interested to see how it comes out on top of this one.
I like what I was in York this morning, and there was like York Valkyrie stuff all over the place. It just seems like rugby league is a big thing there in York.
Yeah, and as I've said before, the people have bought into the women's team as much as they have the men's team. It's like that they play them off equally against each other. It's great to see that, and the fans are massive York Valkyrie. York Valkyrie are almost far off the support base of the men's team, really, are they? It's not a million mile off. And then the big game of the week, Craig.
Yeah.
I've applied for my media pass for this one.
Have you?
Yeah.
Nice one.
Bulls v Wakey.
So the team you support versus the team you always slate. You ain't getting out of there alive, like.
No. Bradford v Wakefield. Genuinely, I think this is probably the biggest game of the weekend.
Yeah, it's going to be a belting game. Featherstone Wakey are having an absolutely cracking season.
Yeah, Wakefield are a brilliant team. I mean, they're still sort of professional Super League quality side, aren't they?
Yeah.
This is the 1895 Cup semi-final. Bradford haven't been to Wembley for donkey's years. If they get to Wembley, there'll be fans will appear that we haven't seen for years or want to be there. And I think it'd be a real shot in the arm for either of these clubs to get to Wembley. And it'll be good for the whole Challenge Cup because it's played on the same day. It'll be a massive boost to the crowd, whichever one of these teams gets there. So can't wait for that.
Quick question, Oscar Fisher. So good they named him twice. Are you covering the Four Nations Universities Rugby League this year?
Yes, we will be. Yeah.
What's the dates for that?
I don't know.
Right, okay. If the dates fit, we are there.
It's not too far off though.
Yeah, we was really keen to do it last year, weren't we? And it just everything came up so quick.
We've actually got a decision to make.
Right, what?
Well, we've been invited by the England camp.
Yeah.
By Kevin Deaton, and we've been invited by the Irish camp.
Well, you've got Irish relatives, haven't you?
What? Because I wore a green shirt once.
Yeah, you played for Ireland. I've got the evidence.
But yeah, of course we will.
Yeah.
Have they announced where it's going to be yet?
No,
because I think I know.
Right. So answer your question.
And we won't have to travel very far, so we'll definitely be there.
Right. Nice one. So we're making every sort of step we can to make sure we cover that. We love university rugby, and so we'll be getting involved in that. Right. I'm Wales captain. We're excited and ready to get stuck in. All right. So there you go. Welsh captain. So right. Okay. So we're gonna do our live raffle. Okay. So this is a raffle from the Midlands Nines. We've got a few prizes to give away. I'm just going to run through that. We've got Fight Camp Stay for 2. So basically, you get to experience life as a professional fighter for a week. You basically go away, you stay in a country house, fully inclusive. You've got your room for 2. You've got your food provided. You've got pro-level coaching. Basically, do 4 or 5 hours of boxing, another combat sport training every day. Couple of hikes, all that kind of thing. So that's for 2 people. That's our top prize. You've also got, and Carl's got a couple of these things here. So I'm gonna take this slide off the screen so he can show you. We've got a signed London Broncos shirt, which
there you go.
Actually, belting shirt, which I'm sure is going to be historic design. You know what I mean? An epic design. So you've got that London Broncos shirt. What else you got? You've
we
also
got some Midlands 9 stash. So we got baseball cap.
Yeah, Midlands 9's baseball cap. Shows that, Carl.
There you go.
No, can you show us the shirt again? Because the camera was on me.
It's on you. All right. Okay. There's
the old London Broncos shirt signed by the crew. Brilliant.
We've got a number of Midlands stash. So we got the t-shirt that's behind you on your camera.
There's all sorts of juggling going on here.
Yeah, Midlands 9's cap. One of our rebounder balls. We got a Midlands hoodie. One of our hoodies. Who ain't quite with me at the minute, but anybody who's at the 9s will have seen one of them. What else we got, Craig? Oh, we got a No Helmets Required book. This is a great book, by the way. This is signed by the author, Gavin Willens. There ain't many of these about anymore because I think there was a run of them done. And I think he found a few copies. Yeah,
if you're into like the history of rugby league and all that, basically it's about this American team that went on a world tour.
Yeah,
and
I haven't read it all. I've read some of it, and it's brilliant. There's just all sorts of goings on, all sorts of stories happened. Yeah, a bunch of like American footballers that were sort of brought together, showed how to play rugby league, and ended up going around the world. And yeah, it's proper rock and roll. There's some real stories in that. It just makes you wonder whatever happened to USA Rugby League.
And then we've also got a signed Kevin Sinfield book and a couple of little bits and bobs. Right, let's get through it, Carl, because it's taking forever. What do you want to do? Start from the bottom, work up? So for the signed Kevin Sinfield ball, wrong, book, should I say. Have you got a pen? Are you going to write on the back of the ticket who's won what?
Well, we can go back through the recording, can't we?
Oh, yeah, the magic of video and audio. All right, okay, so hang on, let me bring up the thing, mate, because we can't see you doing the. Oh, you picked your ticket out already?
Yeah, I've
okay, for the signed Kevin Sinfield book, we have
Karen Darlington.
Oh, Karen, the nutritionist at camp.
Right, so I've got her phone number on there on the ticket.
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow, no doubt. So Kevin,
feel like I'm in a game show.
Yeah. Spinning the thing. Right, next one, the essential oils hamper. So the essential oil hamper provided by Aroma Quartz, independent local essential oil and candle maker in Shrewsbury.
Emma
McShane.
Team Boot Camp Camper.
Oh, there you go. Emma McShane, essential oils hamper. Next one, hang on, what's this? What's the prize for this? The rebounder ball. Here we go. Keep him spinning his tumbola. Okay,
never thought we'd do this when we set up this podcast.
Next one, what we got? We got massive prize. The top prize worth about £3,000. So
Nina Kavanagh.
Oh yeah, Nina. Yeah, nice one. Yeah.
What's that? The rebounder ball.
That's the rebounder ball. She's going to love that.
Which one's the next one?
Midlands t-shirt. Midlands 9's t-shirt next. Here he goes. His little pink box. Show us your pink box.
Molly Williams.
Hang on, Carl. What's next? Oh, it's the signed No Helmets Required book.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. Pink. He loves it.
Emma
Mobank,
I think. Oh, Team Boot Camp Camper, it says on it as well.
Mobank. Yeah. Okay, cool. Number 4 is a baseball cap, outsider's baseball cap.
Biff. So I think it says Biff, and I've got his phone numbers on there.
Is that Jason Biffin, is it?
Just says Biff.
Biff. Right, Biff. Number 3 is...
What's the next prize?
Hoodie, Midlands 9 hoodie.
Oh, big one, this.
Big one.
Sold out at the Midlands 9s.
Yeah, he did, yeah. Because it was freaking freezing.
Yeah. We played that one, right?
Here we go then, for a Midlands 9's hoodie. We have got...
Molly Williams.
Williams again?
Yeah. Some people bought a load of tickets.
Yeah, Molly Williams again. Right, number 2, which is the signed London Broncos shirt.
Oh, big one.
This is a great one.
Big spin.
Big
for this
spin
one.
for that one.
It's my favourite thing I've ever done on this show.
Right, this is going to like the show highlights from the season. Here we go then. Signed London Broncos shirt.
Karen Darlington.
Karen again.
Was Karen one already?
Yeah, nutritionalist at camp. Karen Darlington. Okay, big prize. So, fight camp. Experience life as a pro fighter for 1 week. All-inclusive retreat in Shropshire. Absolute belting prize, worth in the region of £3,000.
Yeah.
So you and a mate to go and experience life as a pro fighter. You don't have to be into fighting and like that. Any kind of experience is catered for. So who's the winner then, Carl? Top prize.
Right.
There's the ticket. Here we go.
Yanni.
Yanni.
Znet.
Yeah, Yanni. I know Yanni. Brilliant. She's gonna love that prize. Right. So obviously, everyone that's won there, we're gonna get in touch with you over the next couple of days. Make sure the prizes get to you. Thanks to everybody that's taken part in the raffle. Carl, let's just finish quickly on a little look forward.
Yeah, so this week we have recorded a Midlands Nines Access All Areas podcast. It's got absolutely everything that you needed to know about the Midlands Nines, including the run-up to it, including my stress levels, including the fact that it nearly broke Craig. We've basically what we thought went well, what we thought went wrong, and just an overall feel for the event. We've got a few videos chucked in there, a few bits that people might not have seen. It's just a great insight into the festival.
Yeah, and obviously that's going to be on YouTube predominantly, but also Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, all that malarkey. So please, if you haven't done already, make sure you subscribe and leave us a review on those platforms because it really does help. So we're back. We're back into the swing of it. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. And until the next episode, anything to say, Carl?
It's been emotional.
Take care.